Listen, you speak about, you don't reference the barbershop, you do, because evidently that's in your heart. Being a
Yes.
barber is in your, I might can get a haircut from you now. You still
Nah,
got your
probably not.
clippers? Probably not today, but you still got your clippers, right?
Yeah, they at the house. They be
Okay.
offering me $200, Mark, for haircuts. I turn it down. So far, I don't know how long I'm gonna turn it down, but I've been turning it
Say
down
that
too.
again, but I got a question. But say that part
Yeah.
again, what you just said.
I said they be offering me $250, probably the most, for a haircut right now.
Wow.
Right now, $200 a hit right now.
Wow.
And I'm
Wow.
like, yeah. If I go back to the barbershop, I would honestly probably tell them, hey man, just pay me whatever you think I deserve, or just pay me what you can afford. If I went back to
And
the barbershop, I would say, hey, just pay me whatever you can afford. Because
okay.
I'm going back for the love. I wouldn't go back for the money. Yeah.
So I know like a lot of, especially in the hood, most barbershops are where deep conversations happen. I know you can't tell all of them, but your most memorable conversation that you got at or you had at the barbershop.
The most memorable conversation that I had at the barbershop, and it's crazy because maybe separate people, but I had people that just wanted to give up on life. Like that, you really had to talk to someone jumping off a bridge or offing themselves. That's one of the deeper things. One thing about being a barber, man, you're not just a barber. And if you like me, that really kind of have a heart for people, you know that you are the counselor. You are the big brother that no one had. You're the uncle, or you're the father to some of these kids that these single moms bring in, or the uncle. You know what I mean? Big whatever. I talked to so many people that had to talk off the ledge, and I'm literally crying. They're crying about to say, I can't, man, things not going my way. Things are not going the way I planned. This is not who I am. This is why is this happening to me? I feel so bad. I'm hurt. They're grieving. They're going through like depression. You know what I mean? So many people going through depression. That's another thing you don't even realize. And I really had to bring someone back. I mean, to one point that even after they got out the chair, we calling them, and I'm calling with somebody else on the phone too. You know what I mean? But yeah, depression's real. People are dealing with some real life stuff in this world today. They're dealing with some real life stuff, and I'm here to tell you, hold on, man, hold on. Let me tell you something. Sometimes during the darkest hour, it's right before that break of day. I'm telling you. So, sometimes we got to be squeezed. Sometimes we got to be broken down. Sometimes things have to be broken down just so they could be built up the right way.
Wow, that's powerful, man. As you was talking, I was just thinking about, people, because it do get difficult.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
yeah, that was good, man.
Yeah.
Thank you for doing that, because
Yes.
like normally we see people be like, "What up? How you doing?" Right?
Yeah.
When people ask how you doing, and then somebody dump on us, they be like, "Nah, I ain't doing so great." Are you
Yes.
ready? Are you ready for that conversation? So sometimes we gotta be careful when we say how you doing. If I ask
Yeah.
somebody how you doing, I know if they take it there, I'm gonna have to, just how you did, I'm gonna have to be willing to talk to them if
Well,
necessary.
just imagine you being a barber for 30 years and a lot of people coming there. You got to take so much being a barber. You're hearing everyone's problems. Everybody got a problem. Everybody got a story. I learned every walks of life. It built my character, you know what I mean, to learn and to understand empathy and to really kind of put yourself in someone else's shoes and understand that, life is happening. Life be life. And like they say, life be life in the people. And, you never know what someone is going through. Depression, again, is real. You know what I mean? People out here, I mean, look, we live in the richest country, and you ask me, you tell me how this makes sense. We live in one of the richest countries in the world. I think we all can agree with that, right? But over 70% of the people in the country are living check to check. How that makes sense?
Mm.
70% of the people are living check by check. They're going to work every day. You know what I mean? We're paying our taxes and all that. Even with taxes, 20, 30, 40%. Did you know that even doing that, that means you're only working 6 months for free? Did you know that? People don't know that. You're working 6 months out of the year for free. Do the math. Taxes, 20%, 30% of your money. How that makes sense? You know what I mean? You're working free for at least 3 to 6 months easily. But I mean, this is what we live at in America, and people are struggling. We were just crying over eggs not too long ago. You know what I mean? People worrying about eggs. Like, man, dang, eggs is hot. We should better afford stuff like that, but in the richest country. But the powers that be and the people that's being greedy and stuff like that, it's just the way this world is going. It's not really cool. You know what I mean? For that, it's just not. People should not have to struggle. You can struggle if you want to struggle. That's up to you. But over here in America now, you're not struggling here. You know what I mean? And I've seen struggle in other countries too. Don't get me wrong. It's not as bad as them. But the way things are, I can see why people was getting in my chair depressed and going through some struggles. They got real shit going on, you know?
Okay. So you spoke about the businesses. You spoke about the book. You spoke about the play, the stage play.
Yes.
You talk about not only going back to Africa, right?
Yes. Yes.
But starting an organization in Africa.
Yes.
Much respect to all that. All that is good. I want you to tell us about your company, because we always talk about giving back to the community.
Yeah.
Let us know what your company did as far as giving back to the community that you grew up in.
Let me say this, man. I've done a lot of great things in my life. And as we talk, I probably ain't enough time to tell you a lot of things, needless to say, a lot of stuff that I've done. But one of the things I'm going to tell you, one of the greatest things that I've done in my company, which is construction. Again, a guy from barber chair to construction, got commercial. Well, in the Riverside projects, they got funds to develop the project. You know, I mean, not to develop, to tear down the projects and put affordable housing. I'm talking about really nice housing, townhouses, you know what I mean? So knocking down all the project buildings, developing a whole new neighborhood. Well, I got a call to be a part of that, you know, and my company is called Trust. And the reason why I call it Trust, because Black folks get a lot of bad rap when it comes down to construction companies and developing. You know, that's why you got seeing us being flaggers and all that. You're not really owning the company, and then people saying that we might not have this, we don't do this, or you know, as far as integrity, whatever it is, we was just getting a bad name, bad rap, and I wanted to fix that. So my company's called Trust Renovations, meaning that you can trust us. Every time we call, you call us, hey, trust. I want you to hear that, because I want you to know that's one thing that you can do with my company is trust. Well, someone called Trust and say, hey, I know you're from Riverside, and I know you got a construction company, and I'm probably 2 years into my construction company. And there's like, we're building up the new projects, but it's not going to be projects, it's going to be townhouses. We're going to tear that down. I said, where at? Over Riverside, where you're from. We'd like to be a part of that. One of the coolest things in my life is being able to go back to my projects and helping out with the new houses. And we done doors, we done trimming, we did all the paint. We did a lot of things over there, and they actually invited us over to be a part of that, which I'm just so honored that, you know, growing up in Riverside, building these new houses across the street from the project where I lived at. And I'm talking about, Mark, I'm literally looking at my old house in the projects while building up the new houses on the other side. One of the coolest things I've ever done. And I've done a lot of great things, but going back to my projects and to my hood and fixing it up and helping fixing it up with the We Work program. Shout out to Logan Herring, who's my guy, and the other people that's involved in this project and made it happen.
Man, you deserve claps. You deserve claps for that, man.
Thank you, bro.
That's good looking out.
Yeah,
that's
thank
actually
you.
giving back.
Unreal. That was unreal. Yes.
Okay. Are you currently mentoring any younger or even older people?
Yes. Yeah, I got a couple people that I'm so proud of that I mentor on business, and some of us we try to meet at least once a month. You know, those type of things we try to meet, and then some people that, you know, just by a phone call. I'm trying to, you know, you've done so much, and I'm trying to figure out what's next. I'm trying not to be too selfish, but I am trying to be selfish a little bit, because I do want to fit myself into enjoying my life and doing what Derek wants to do, what TopShelf wants to do, you know. But at the same time, though, people need me, and legacy wise, I feel that leaving here, this earth, I should have done some things that's going to carry on for people, not just my family, but other young people that's coming up, to teach them. So I'm thinking about maybe even doing a mentor program or something where I'm traveling and speaking like we're doing here, telling this story and speaking everywhere and telling people how they can make it, you know.
Very good. Very good.
Yeah.
Listen, what I would like to do now, Derek, anybody on the live right now, if you have a question, now's the time to go ahead. If you got a question for TopShelf, if you got a question for his childhood person, which is Derek, just simple Derek. If you got a question for TopShelf D. Reed, now's the time to go ahead and ask it. First of all, I want to thank y'all, those who were in and out supporting this live. We really appreciate that. Once we complete the live, it will be available for replay. So those who missed it, tell your peoples, man, it would be available for replay. But if you got a question, man, now's the time. Go ask a question, man. Anybody?
Oh, oh wow, that's good stuff. And I can see the questions too. Oh, good stuff.
Oh, you can? Yeah.
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 Well, I get that's what's up. Well, I just want to say thank you guys for even coming out and being on here and listening to the story, man. I enjoy telling the story, Mark. I'm gonna be honest, and enjoying trying to tell somebody that you can make it too. You know, I mean, you just can't fall into what everybody been taught you, or just believe everything. You got to make it happen. You got to make it happen for yourself. You have to, by any means necessary.
This just came to my mind. People talk about remorse, success remorse, or just having remorse. Did you ever get caught up with feeling remorse being from the notorious Riverside housing projects, you being so successful, and some of the people not being as successful, some of them went through some hard times? How did you deal with that? Because I know you probably faced that on a number of occasions. Talk about that for me.
I do. I do. I don't know if it's just a remorse. I think with me, I consider myself, or I heard the category of overachiever sometimes, you know what I mean? And I think people get a bad rap from being an overachiever. No, go ahead and be an overachiever. Let's keep going. You know what I mean? I'm a motivated person and I like success, whether it's you're doing it or me doing it or whoever. I just love success. You know what I mean? I love the people that just keep on winning. You know what I mean? And then some people are kicking against that. They don't like that. They get jealous, and that's where they hate coming and all that stuff. So I don't feel remorseful for me being successful because I know where I came from. So they don't know where I came from. They don't know that I was sharing the same bed with my brother up to 13, 14 because my mom would rent the other bed out. They don't know that I had 12 people in my house and I had one bedroom. They don't know that we had a jug of water down the bottom and some beer in the refrigerator. They didn't know that I was eating breakfast food for dinner because we didn't have dinner food. They didn't know that. They didn't know that we had to borrow people's clothes and those type of things, in the school. They didn't know we had to share each other's clothes. They didn't know I had to wear them jeans the next day and the next day with a different shirt. They didn't know that to come downstairs and then they had nothing under the tree of a Christmas. Like a lot of people grow up with these luxuries. I didn't have that. We used to steal toys and wrap them up ourselves and put them under the tree just so we can come downstairs to unwrap stuff. If that ain't broke, I don't know what the hell is broke. You understand what I'm saying? Like we had
Yes.
it bad. You know what I mean? We had something called a party house where all the people come over the house and party and drink and stuff in the middle of the night, all night. And we got school tomorrow. And we couldn't say nothing. We 8, 9 years old. Take your ass back upstairs and get that big. You got school tomorrow. I watched my stepfather get stabbed in front of me. This is going on in the projects. So
Yeah.
when people see me going so hard and they see me just trying to keep winning, open up this business and doing this, that's why.
That's what's up.
That's why.
I got a viewer that asked a question. His name is EC. He go by EC.
Yes,
It
sir.
says, I'm looking at a foreclosure duplex. What are the steps to purchase with my LLC, or should I put under my own name?
Let me say this. I would say, honestly, it's okay. It depends on if you're going to live in it, what you're going to do with it. Number one, are you going to live in it? Go ahead and put it under your name. You know what I mean? If you're going to rent it out and do it as a company business, go ahead and do it under that name. But what I would do, I would call me a good accountant. That's number one. Get you a good accountant. Say, hey, I need a good accountant. Whether they have some type of a payment you're going to pay per monthly to have them as accountant, call them and say, hey, I want to set up an LLC. And this is what I want to use it for. So because it sounds like this is new to you or something that you're trying to get into. And if it's something, and it's not just this, anything that you're trying to get into that you really don't know about, you need to call someone that knows about it. So my advice to you, go through the online, find you a good accountant that's locally and say, hey, I want to start an LLC and this is what I want to use it for. And start there. They'll set up the LLC. They'll get you a declaration page. Then you can start your bank account. You take that declaration page to the bank and all that stuff, set up your LLC bank account, and you go from there.
EC, did it answer your question? Anybody else has any questions for Top
Yeah.
Shelf D Reed? He giving out free game, free
Free
information.
game.
So if you got a question for him, my
Yeah.
question to you,
Sure.
were you going to say something?
No, you good. You good, bro.
Top Shelf, my question to you, and this doesn't mean it's going to be the last question, but my question to you is, after all this accomplishments that you have done, what's next for Top Shelf?
You'd be surprised. Let me say this. So one of my companies is actually a transportation company. And what we do is we service schools for I want to say kids that get in trouble pretty much. You know what I mean? I don't mean like saying bad kids, but kids that's always getting in trouble. Alternative kids. So alternative kids. And we serve probably about 60, 70 kids a year, about 60, 70 kids that we transport. So that company got so big where I got a management company that handles that company. You know what I mean? Because I just couldn't do it. It's too much. You know what I mean? But I still own the company and they manage it. So I got that taken care of. Trust is my other company, my construction. I'm trying to do the same thing with that, but I'm more hands-on. I had a project manager that kind of went left a little bit, but now I got to run that company more so. You know, more hands-on, which is fine because I like it. But what's next for me is to get these companies all under a management company where I don't have to be so hands-on. Then I can live my life. And my life consists of writing plays, writing screenplays, and honestly, even doing some stand-up. I like being funny. I like talking stuff. And that's how I want to walk out into the sunset. You know what I mean? Or even doing this mentor stuff and traveling the world, teaching young people to be successful and to not wait for things to get right to make a move.
Very good.